Back, everyone. Glad to have you here on episode 2 of the Brown Swamp Man. So, as you can see, there actually hasn't been a whole ton of extra content, honestly, worth streaming, because you're basically looking at the kind of shit I've been up to for a little while. Uh, the last few days have just been slowly working my way to 99 defense. Decided that's going to be a goal to go after. I wasn't streaming at the time, but we got our first top clear. So that is officially a thing for normal mode. We haven't started hard mode or anything like that, but I have my first normal theater blood clear. We've done a few entry modes, but normal seems to be where we are moving to as a clan. So that's where I am diving in. And we got our first clear done. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool, you know. Finally have something in the theater of blood cleared out and taken care of. So I now have a little bit of goodness to look forward to. Um, for the moment, honestly, pretty excited that got taken care of. You know, it's a huge step forward on the account. And as you can probably hear, there is a distinct lack of non-stop brutal fan noise going on in the background of today's stream because I figured out that apparently NVIDIA cards have a broadcast thing you can add to them where major crap like never-ending background fan noise can be streamed out of your audio feed. It takes a little extra oomph from the graphics card, but doing crap like, Runescape, that works great. So here we are, slightly better microphone quality. Finally, after a little while, figuring out how that works and being smart enough, thank God, to actually use that. So, pretty excited about how that is working out. So, officially, got something going on. It's pretty fucking cool. So, with that said, I have a few things in the works, right? So, we're doing some stat grinds, we're doing temple trekking, we are working on getting Slayer very, 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 very slowly. It's abysmal at the rate we're doing Slayer. So, as you can see, no major stat grinds have been done. I took a little break from gaming. Um, just been kind of super busy with real life goals. Um, working on things like getting prepared for house sale and things like that. So, time is spent elsewhere, ultimately, quite a lot. So, with that said, we're having a good time. We're here doing our thing. But hopefully, I'll be able to get some streaming done, actually show some account progress happening outside of, beating stuff to death in the Nightmare Zone until our eyes bleed. Because, let's face it, that's a great time. But, um, I figured there'd be a little update. I'll let the world know I haven't dropped dead yet. Keyword yet. And, just vegetating for right now. Next time we get into raids or start working in the God Wars dungeon, I believe this weekend we're going to see about getting the rest of the frozen key pieces from Armadillo and Zamarok bosses in order to start going to Nex, so we can go have a pretty good time there. Start working our way through that whole process. It'll be pretty freaking sweet. Um, Other than that, account progress kind of still stands as it was, right? We still got Greenlock Barrows, still got Greenlock Nightmare. When a Raxor is released, we're going to try to Greenlog it someday. Whenever the hell I get 92 Slayer, as they're suggesting it should be under. I really wish it was a little lower. Maybe 80, if I could be so lucky. But we're going to eventually, now that we can do normal Theater of Blood, we're going to finally be able to risk greenlogging that. Getting through Cox and Toa. Haven't been to Sriracha in a while. Just haven't bothered. Might go in there again. Start working on the God Wars requirements. I've ignored Muspa. I've ignored Solra. I've ignored Vorkath diligently because I suck. Still gotta start fucking around in the Coliseum, and someday between now and the 32nd of February in the 41st millennium, we'll go get the Infernal Cape someday. Figure out how that goes. That'll be an interesting line of events. So no major count progress has been made. We're just working on stat grades and stuff right now. I want to get, like I said, 99 defense so I can max combat. Just be done with it. Lazy train it to 50 mil and strength, range, and mage because I ignore everything else after that point. Just sort of how that goes. Yeah. And eventually, we're working on getting some 90s done. Because I do eventually want to do 90 smithing, 90 crafting and fletching, and maybe 90 fishing. Those are the last major stat goals, I think, besides 87 or so. It'll be 88, 90 construction. We'll kind of see how that goes. If all goes well, those will get done eventually. We'll see, maybe by the end of the year, maybe 2025. We'll see when they get done. They aren't usually too bad. They're just kind of painfully daunting and time consuming. Yeah, we'll just kind of see how they go. So as of right now, we have what? Let's see, 11.3 million. We got to get 13,035,000 basically. We got a lot. Looking at what, like 1.7 mil, so probably 100K an hour. Do some quick math. Well, it's fair to call it 7 mil even. 17 more hours. It's probably another couple of weeks. Just bored, AFK, chilling in the Nightmare Zone. I'm also trying to work on if and when I can get a Morytania task to finally work on the Slayer a wee bit. Trying some defense that way, but currently I'm kind of locked on points for doing Slayer, so we're going to be kind of chillaxing on temple trekking in order to raise Slayer levels and just kind of see how it goes from there, you know? So I figure, yeah, I think it's been almost a month, somewhere in that ballpark. I'd have to go physically check, but it's been a while since I posted up a stream, did any account progress or anything like that. So yeah, right now the big account goals: max combat, starting to work on the bossing side of things. We did finally do our 100th chest in Barrows. Ended up finishing out that grind and pulling the Carol's Coif. So I think we've done the helmet, crossbow, and Coif in 100 kills. We had someone else from the clan recently do it, and they have like almost full Guthans and Darrock. It's kind of friggin' nuts that they were able to pull that kind of gear already in what, like 102 chests. It was crazy. So I'm probably looking at 1,500-ish chests in order to green log it. So we'll have a lot of barrows to do. Trying to yawn through talking. It's a good time. Also tested if you are honestly able to cast Wind Wave, right? Wind Wave. Or even Wind Wave, yeah, but Wind Surge, the level 90-ish, the top tier wind spells in RuneScape, don't do Slayer Dart. Slayer Dart, while it will use those mind runes, um, that you do often get, it's really only good for the mid game. Once you can do Wind Wave or Wind Surge, um, then Dart becomes pointless because even at 99 Mage with Ancestral, and we're going to use the Grandma's Hilt because of reduction of Prairie Drain, right? You're still capping at like 23. We're using Wind Surge, I think it is, the highest tier wind spell in the standard spell book at 99 mage. You know what I mean? We're hitting for like 48, 50 using just a mystic fire staff. You know what I mean? A mystic fire battle staff. We're hitting for 45 to 50, right? Just melting barrows in half the time. So, well, magic, magic dart seems pretty nice for the Slayer staff and stuff. It's definitely your mid game option. As soon as your wind spells can hit harder than, like 13, 14, just stick to wind spells exclusively through barrows. It is so much more efficient because you'll also gain that extra, I think it's what, 50% or 100% damage bonus. I think it's 50% damage bonus of arrows. But that just soars your max hit up so much more efficiently. So definitely do that. If you're ever going to grind barrows, definitely just use wind spells. That bonus is legit from the elemental weaknesses they introduced. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much what we've been up to. This is going to be a super short stream because you're basically looking at it. Yeah, no, just overload potting through defense levels for right now. Just because I'm having to AFK RuneScape on the side while doing other stuff. So, I figure do a little update. Do one with finally a stream of some level that is not filled with endless fan back noise. It's great. That back noise, the background of never ending angry fans, and even with the pop filter and windscreen and all that stuff, apparently it just was impossible not to have. Because the Blue Yeti and Snowball microphones and stuff, they pick up all the things otherwise. Like, it's ridiculous. But they're great for picking up your voice when you talk kind of quiet like I do. So, for right now, I'm going to kind of go ahead, just call it good at this here 15 minutes of beating stuff to death in the Nightmare Zone. It's not the most riveting content ever, but yeah, next time we have a little more playtime and are doing like a raid or making some quest or whatever progress, if we get lucky and have something. We're going to make some boss Casey attempts. You know, I'll try to throw up a stream and get that on the way. So, once again, thanks for joining me for this short little 17-minute blurb of nonsense. We will catch you, lads and ladies,